What the hell is this?
Hey, y'all ever seen someone ride a rocket? Well, now you have, because look at this dude. He's so sexy with it. Dante, the 50% man, the 50% devil, but 100% badass. This dude has literally done the impossible multiple times. I'm not even kidding. This absolute Giga Chad, Juggernaut, Timothy God, which is ironic because he's the devil, straight dog walked a demonic 3-headed dog. 2 times, by the way. Tanked a hit from a statue that is stronger than my will to live and bigger than Lil Pump's career. And even fused a bike, yes, a bike with demonic energy, and proceeded to ride on his enemies with it.
What?
Not in that way. Like, he didn't ride them, but he rode them to death. What? But it's not what it sounds like. I mean, like, it's kind of, but... I'm going to the next clip. And I don't really want to make this video too long, so we're only going to talk about this GOAT from DMC 3 to DMC 5 with categories such as weapons, abilities, and personality. So let's start off with one of my favorite things of this man, and also it's probably going to be the longest part of the video, his weapons. So over these games, Dante gets like 1 billion weapons and is highly skilled with every single one of them. So for starters, his main sword, the Rebellion. He has so many combos with his weapons, it's insane. He can stab you with this faster than the speed of light and more times than Ezra Miller gets arrested. Seriously, like, look at this, bro. He's going in. Okay, Dante, I think you got him. He's dead already, bro. You can stop now. Dante. Nigga, that's enough slices! That's not even it. This man can also charge up his sword and unleash a barrage of attacks causing massive damage. Plant his sword in the ground and spin on it like it's a stripper. Literally defy the laws of gravity and juggle your nuts in the air. Like, logic just does not apply to this man. Oh, that's not his only sword. You know, besides the absolute schlong this man has in his pants. Huh? Next, we have his lovely skull puncturing guns, Ebony and Ivory. Look at that big ass black gun right there. Remind me of my dick. Now, these hoes aren't your average hoes. They'll suck a man's soul out of his body and send it straight to hell. And no, I'm not even joking. These guns will literally send you to Satan himself while having infinite ammo in the process. These bad bitches will bust in your booty hole until the end of time if they wanted to. Shit, I need me some freaks like this. Okay, let me stop with all these sexual jokes. But, just like the Rebellion, these guns can be charged up and deal extra damage to a demon. But Dante gets disrespectful when he's using these. Like, can someone please tell me, how in the world are you just gonna jump and do a 1080 spin and let bullets rain on your ops? On top of that, Dante can and will use these demons like a skateboard and proceed to tornado shoot more demons. So picture this, right? Imagine you one of these demons and you see this man just straight sliding on one of your friends like he's surfing. At that point, you can't even do nothing but react like, nigga! But that basically wraps up Ebony and Ivory. He can basically do the same thing with his shotgun that he straight up stole from a broken down strip club. He can also do a stinger with this gun, which is very similar to the move he does with Rebellion. He keeps it pretty plain and simple. For now. Now we get to the cold weapons. No pun intended. Y'all remember in the intro where I said Dante dog walked a dog? Well, that just wasn't any dog. That motherfucker was Cerberus, the guardian of hell.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
Now, any normal person like myself would probably crap their spine out in this situation, but Dante goes,
It's showtime. Come on.
And then whoops this much ass. Cerberus then admits defeat and turns into a set of nunchucks, and just off this cutscene, you can already tell that Dante is a pro at this. So let's look at his movesets. Besides all the wombo combos he can do with these, Dante can yet again defy gravity and spin hit his enemies, make the nunchucks basically shield his body, windmill his opponent, summon ice crystals from the ground to impale you, and if demons don't want to stay 6 feet apart like we practiced in COVID, then Dante can also shield himself with ice. Like, bro, he's so cold! No pun intended again! Then after a series of missions, Dante gains 2 swords called Agni and Rudra. He acquires these by defeating 2 big ass guard things. They try to tell him that he can't pass through a certain door, and of course Dante's smug ass is just like, yeah, alright. So then he makes complete ease out of these 2, and they literally beg him to use them as weapons. And I'm pretty sure y'all can guess what Dante did. Big Dick Dante can use both these swords to summon both fire and wind at the same time. Speaking of same time, he's just casually swinging around 2 heavy great swords. And that may not look heavy, but great swords are way harder to carry than they look. So the fact that Dante is swinging at light speeds with these is just straight GOAT status, bruh. Most of his combos with them just involve more fire and wind summoning, but 2 that really stand out to me is 1, the fact he turns himself into a literal Beyblade mid-air, and 2, he can summon a whole tornado off of 3 full circle swings. and then he can continue the tornado and make himself fly. How strong do you even have to be for that? I'll let the power scalers handle that though, because that's just way too much work for my little ass brain. The next weapon that Dante obtains is called Artemis. He gets this from finding and collecting these gems like he's Indiana Jones. This weapon is really cool because it auto locks onto a demon and shoots a ton of projectiles at it. Then it has 2 extra abilities where he can create this fear and hurts anyone next to it. And then if Dante enhances it, he will make it rain again.
Spark it up!
Oh, these are pretty cool bananas.
He's so cool. Now we move on to Nevin, Dan. Screw it, I'm black, I'm just calling it nigga. Anyways, Dante gets nigga from beating this incredibly sexual demon lady, and this man has some riz, bruh. Just look at this.
Is this your first time here?
Yeah, it is. You'll be nice to me, won't you?
Of course I will. I'll treat you so nicely. You'll never want to leave.
That's where he's gonna go! Oh my god!
Oh yeah, and then he shoots. And this is why I rocks with him, bruh. He'll save the world, but he'll never save a hoe. She then gives herself up, pause again, and turns into a literal guitar that isn't just a regular guitar. This guitar can summon lightning and lightning bats, can turn into a scythe, and since Dante is a master of all weapons, he can do whatever the hell this is. Oh yeah, and did I mention that Dante can actually play the guitar insanely well? Keep in mind, we are still in DMC 3. We still have 2 more games to talk about, but let's continue. The next weapon Dante gets is called Spiral, where you, the player, can choose to take it or not at this little waterfall area. It doesn't really do much except for ricochet off opponents, so that kind of sucks, but it makes sense being that it's not a mandatory weapon that needs to be acquired. Now this next weapon, oh yeah, you might as well start calling him Floyd Money Mayweather, because this dog finna put the paws on you bitches.
Ooh, bars.
These are called Beowulf, and Dante gets these after he fights his brother, Virgil, for a second time. He was originally supposed to get them after straight up embarrassing this abomination right here, but the dude ended up taking off to recover his health just to get even more disrespected and straight up killed by Virgil. Don't worry, I'll make a vid about Virgil sometime in the future. Dante uses these things to serve a straight 2-piece chicken nugget meal, and he can shoot out ki blasts like he's Goku. There's a number of combos he can use in different fighting styles, which honestly makes this my favorite weapon in DMC 3. He can also punch a volcano-like beam out of the ground, and apparently this man has taken some notes from Ryu in Street Fighter, because this right here is sick!
Oh, you get... You're grounded! Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
And then there's the last weapon in this game that Dante acquires, and that's this rocket launcher called Kalina Ann. He gets this from a girl named Mary, later nicknamed Lady, after defeating her in a fight. We'll come back to the reason this fight happened later.
Psych!
Besides only using this weapon like a regular RPG, Dante can somehow make this thing shoot multiple rockets at once, and will also use his grappling hook to bring enemies closer to him when he's fighting. And with that being said, we are now on the Devil May Cry 4. The Rebellion, Ebony and Ivory, and the Shotgun all have the same exact moveset as in the previous game, and Gilgamesh has the same exact moveset as Beowulf. Dante gains Gilgamesh from killing this plant-like dildo-built demon.
My forest! My children!
Shut up, bitch!
Dante 2, Demon Hoe 0. City boys up! The next weapon he gains is from this frog demon he killed, and it's called Pandora, which is this box that contains way more variations than the characters in Mortal Kombat X. Now this is one of his most sick weapons because it can become a bow that shoots fucking rockets, a bigger rocket launcher that shoots more rockets and deals even more damage, becomes then whatever the hell this is just to rip a demon's booty meat apart, a minigun in the air, a terrorist dream machine that shoots even more rockets. Damn, who made this? Osama bin Laden? A bladed boomerang and a holy light that disintegrates any demon near it. Now that isn't a light you want to walk toward, especially not my black ass. The moment I see this light, I'm gonna be the same color as the TV when it turns off.
Damn.
The last weapon he gains in this game is from this flame demon, and this weapon is called Lucifer. And no, I'm not talking about the show, alright? Now remember when I said Dante can defy gravity? Well, so can this weapon. He can place these blades in midair and then control them just by the blink of his eye. And to add more swag points, yes, I said swag points, get over it. He can make these things explode with a rose, bruh. And just like the plays in the NFL, he can make these blades come in multiple formations. Someone signed this man up to be a coach, I guess. He also gains the Yamato in this game, which is Virgil's sword, but Dante only uses it with a certain style, which we are also going to come back to when I talk about his abilities. But that's all the weapons that he has in DMC 4. Now we can move on to his Devil Arms in DMC 5. Once again, the Rebellion sword has the same properties as the previous games, and that goes for Coyote A and Ebony and Ivory as well. With that being said, these next weapons he acquires have way more creativity than Steve from Minecraft. Did someone call for these hands rated E for for everyone Dante, because that's exactly what he's gonna bring to the table with Balrog. Unlike the other games, he mixes up his fighting style ranging from boxing to capoeira. One moment this nigga think he Mike Tyson, the next he think he Eddie Gordo. Dante can charge these bad boys up and turn them into flame-fueled gauntlets, dealing even more damage. And with these gauntlets, he's arguably more swift than he's ever been. And oh my god, when I say swift, I mean he's swift. No Taylor. Just look at this Hajime no Ippo dodge, bruh.
Yo, you lagging? Nah! Yo, nah!
He can do a number of combos, both focusing on his arms and the usage of his legs. Just take a look at some of these.
Breathing out of both nostrils! Wait!
No.
Oh yeah, and did I mention that he can also fucking kickbox? Seriously, what can he not do? Nothing, cause he's him! He just drops his pants and unloads a gallon of coolness onto your face!
What the fuck?
I'm so sorry, y'all. Let's just move on, okay? Next up is a weapon that Dante actually gained from a character named V after he lost to a demon named Urizen. The sword originally belonged to his father, Sparta, henceforth the name Devil Sword Sparta. This weapon is used very similarly to the Rebellion, however there are two main differences. One, this sword can change its form going into a Conda sword and being able to stretch out like Luffy's arms. Another really cool thing about this is Dante can throw this motherfucker at you and it will proceed to rip you to shreds. Remind me to never play Frisbee with this nigga. But that's really it for Sparta. Now this weapon right here is kind of a remix throwback. Yes, you heard that right. Dante gains a similar weapon to DMC3's Cerberus from straight dog walking King Cerberus. Yes, the fucking king. Resulting from that, he acquires these icicle nunchucks that also turns into a freaking staff on fire, and then into nunchucks with lightning. He can do the same previous nunchuck combos as his previous games. He can summon lightning balls to shock his enemies, and he can even do the revolver way more faster when he switches to the lightning element. Also this sick move right here. Shocking. Oh, and do y'all remember when I said Dante looked like a stripper back in DMC3? I guess he hasn't retired from that title yet, because with the flame staff, he can do the same thing. Only better. Man straight looking like Magic Mike out here. He can also do some DBS Broly Fighters extended combos with this staff. He'll plug the staff up a demon's ass with no condom and proceed to fuck him with it.
What the fuck, nigga? Ew.
Next, we have the demon-infused bike, Cavalier. He gets this after defeating Cavalier Angelo, and with his parts being chopped off, they fused with the bike that was split in half. Now, I understand that Dante's just built different, but can someone explain to me, how the fuck can you fight with a motorcycle? Like, look at him! He's just demolishing these peons with ease and style. And as always, there's more! He can continuously split this bike in half to basically torture his foes, flip his enemies into the air and continue to combo them, and then can just straight disrespect you by hitting you with the forwards wheelie, then turn around and hit you with the backwards wheel. Damn, this man has so many devil arms. We're almost done though. Next we have Dante's double Kalina and, because why have one rocket launcher when you can have two? This one's simple for the most part. Basically, once again, the attacks are the same as in the previous games, only this time it's just with an extra RPG. What makes it special, however, is the fact that Dante can combine these two to shoot a goddamn laser. Apparently rocket plus rocket equals beam. But when you're as cool as Dante, who really needs logic?
But anywho,
now we can move on to his hat. Dr. Fast? I don't know, I forgot how to say it. But this was made and given to him by a woman named Nika. Whatever. Back to what I was saying. Y'all know the phrase, money is power? Well, Dante took that in a literal sense. With this weapon, he chooses to shoot his red orbs, which is the game's currency, at his opponent. He can also shield himself with the orbs, frisbee throw his hat to slice his enemies, and even give it life. What? Giorno Giovanna, is that you? And last but not least, Dante's final sword that he gets from stabbing himself with the Rebellion and merging with Sparta, Devil Sword Dante. Wish I could stab myself and get an upgrade. With this weapon, not only can he do the same moves from his previous two swords, but he can also summon even more swords. These smaller swords can stand by his side to protect him close range, auto track to an enemy and impale its unwashed ass, and Dante can even just point at whoever, and these blades will straight massacre who he desires. You're not slick, nigga. I know a stand user when I see one. And then to end it off, just look at this wombo combo he can do. And now that we have covered all his weapons, we can move on to the next section, his abilities.
finally!
Now, if it wasn't already obvious, Dante is insanely overpowered, and since he's half demon, he's practically immortal. When I say this, I'm referring to his insanely fast super healing ability. Just in this opening scene in DMC3, we can see him getting stabbed numerous times, and then literally 2 seconds later, he's just casually walking it off. And since he has super healing, Dante is able to survive damn near anything. It's shown throughout the games that he can take a number of injuries like getting shot in the head, getting impaled some more, and can even survive a huge fall, although it did knock him out for a bit. Wake up, nigga, you too damn cool to be asleep. And since Nero, Dante's nephew and Virgil's son, was able to regenerate his arm after it was cut off like my ex-girlfriend, it's possible that Dante can also regenerate his limbs. Another impressive ability he can do is summon these red platforms, causing him to jump multiple times, also known as his air hike ability. Jesus, Dante, you must really have some beef with Isaac Newton and his laws of gravity, huh? But anywho, he also has superhuman-like speed, strength, and stamina. Seriously, like he barely ever gets tired unless he's fighting his own brother. Now, Dante gains two insanely busted abilities in DMC3. One being able to slow down time, and the other being able to summon a doppelganger to assist him when he's ripping demon booty apart. He gains the time stop ability after beating Pegasus over here, and the doppelganger from whooping this black burnt computer mouse color ass nigga. Again, I'm black, so I can say this. Unfortunately though, he doesn't really use these abilities in the next two games. Why? I don't know. I guess he just wanted to nerf himself because he's so goddamn cool. Now these next two abilities are essential to Dante's kit, and those are the Devil Trigger ability and the Style ability. He's able to awaken the devil inside of him after getting absolutely humiliated by his brother Virgil. Bruh. But since Dante was the main character, you already know he had to bounce back. With this Devil Trigger, not only does it increase his strength, speed, and stamina by a huge amount, but he can also fly and shoot out lightning bolts. In DMC3 specifically, he also has different devil designs with each weapon. I guess even demons can have drip. I know Gunna must be so proud. Unfortunately, in DMC4 and 5, Dante only sticks with this design right here, cause he just wanted to, I guess. However, in 5, he does get an upgrade. Y'all remember when my guy stabbed himself with the rebellion? Well, he also unlocked his true devil form, Sin Devil Trigger.
Oh, that's so cool!
Dante also gains abilities with this specific form. Once again, he is able to fly, but now he can also teleport, summon a giant sword, and no, I'm not talking about the one in his pants.
Oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
Yeah. The straight wombo combo demons shoot out insanely powerful projectiles, literally drill your ass into oblivion, and he's still going. Inferno punch the ground to send his enemies flying, summon a demonic portal to rip you apart, shoot out a ton of Satan's missiles from his own body, and do whatever the hell this is. He's so cool, bro. I'm shedding tears right now. But hey, I guess you could say this devil made me cry. Nigga, shut the fuck up and show the next clip. Now that we talked about his Devil Trigger, let's move on to his styles. Dante has 4 main styles in each game, being Gunslinger, Trickster, Swordmaster, and Royal Guard. And as previously mentioned, he also has another style in DMC4 with the Yamato, but we'll get there in a little bit. For Gunslinger, Dante can enhance his moveset with each gun like Devil Arm. So for his pistols, he can shoot in multiple directions at once, he can use his shotgun like some damn nunchucks, and he can even make a bigger laser with a double Kalina and can summon red orb meteorites. He can do a lot more, but I just realized I showed most of his gunslinging abilities when I was originally talking about his weapons, so that's my bad, y'all. I tend to get carried away when I'm talking about certified goats, so just bear with me. His Trickster, however, is very simple throughout the games, as it just allows him to flash step towards or away from his enemies and allows him to dodge attacks faster than the human eye can keep up with. As dope as that is, that's literally his, keyword his, most simple ability. Then he has Swordmaster, where just like Gunslinger, he can enhance his moveset, but this is for the melee weapon. This can range from Rebellion's Prop Shredder to him running you over with a bike, or, which is my personal favorite, straight breakdancing on your ass. Yo, someone put my nigga in the next Step Up movie. And since we're on the topic of his melee weapons, let's talk about his Dark Slayer style that's only available in DMC4.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
With this, he can slash through dimensions even more, do a slight combo, and slash through even more dimensions. Finally, we have his Royal Guard style. With this style, Dante can literally block your attacks, and then after doing that for a certain amount of time, he will straight up Meliodas full counter you. And once again, in DMC4 only, I don't know why, but he can charge up his Royal Guard and turn into Dreadnought. And with this, he can basically just tank anything. Now, he can do a whole lot more with these abilities, but I don't want this video to be too long, and I still need to talk about his personality. Speaking of which, let's move on to that final segment, shall we? Dante has always been this laid back, cocky, smoke demon. Seriously, like he does not back down from anyone or anything. We can see throughout the series that he tends to trash talk his enemies.
It's like staring into a backed up toilet.
Or just straight taunt them. He didn't even take his brother seriously until, well, Yeah, that's kind of a painful injury. And speaking of injury, Dante will also let himself get hurt by his enemies just so he can see how strong they are. And of course, since he likes to show off, he always does the most over the top things. For example, when he decided to shoot a damn pool ball into other pool balls just so they could ricochet off every demon in a room, or how he casually decided to Fortnite rocket ride a missile that was shot at him, or how he sat on a flame demon's tail without burning up, or maybe even when he was flying around and fighting demonic angels mid-air just to straight flex on them, or when he just plain decided to become Michael Jackson.
Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
And although he can be this big bundle of joy, he also knows when to actually take things serious. I use a scene from each game. In DMC 3, Dante tries to convince his brother to stop his search for power because it's only bringing chaos to the human world. Virgil doesn't listen to his brother, and after he loses the final battle, he decides to stay in the demon world just like their father once did. Resulting from that, Dante's actually shown crying at the end of the game. But of course, since he's an absolute badass, he just says,
It's only the rain.
hey nigga, you can lie to us, but you can't lie to yourself. In DMC 4, Dante sees his nephew Nero enraged and wanting vengeance after his girlfriend gets captured. Dante knows that if Nero wanted to take down the main villain of the game, he would need to calm down. So that's what happens. Dante whoops Nero's ass like a black mama frustrated with her kids, and then allows him to use Virgil's sword to assist him against the main antagonist. He also comes in clutch at the end of the game and gives Nero this anime motivation type speech after he gets captured. Talk about a W uncle, huh? And speaking of family ties, let's talk about how their family tree is actually revealed in DMC 5. After Urizen and V join back together, Virgil is then brought back into the game. With that happening, Nero becomes confused and frustrated because he has no idea what's going on. Dante then tells him to stay out the problem because it doesn't involve him. Since Virgil was the one who took Nero's devil arm, which was also the Yamato, it's a lot I ain't tell y'all because the purpose of this video was to show off Dante, so I didn't want to talk about the story, but it's kind of necessary for this part. Nero continually asks for answers, and well, you can see how serious this moment became.
You don't get it. Let me guess. I'm dead weight? Well, you can
That's
show
not
it.
it, Nero.
What is it then?
He's your father!
What?
I had the feeling the first time I saw you, but I just wasn't sure. And then I saw how the Yamato reacted. And I was certain. He's your father. Now he needs an ass kicking. But I can't have you go kill your old man.
Now I could literally go on and on about this man, but I still want to give y'all the chance to play these games and experience what it's like to play as him and see how he acts for yourselves. All of these games are available on PC and console, so I definitely would recommend y'all to check these out. I know I left out a ton of information, but I just wanted to give y'all a basic understanding of how Dante really is that nigga. He's him. He's that guy. But most importantly, he's the legendary Devil Hunter.